Hey, I am coming to you live and all the technical issues are happening with 2 minutes to go and I think I'm having some networking stuff. So let's find our favorite QCam window and have a look at what we're dealing with. So today, what's coming up? We are talking about highlighting stuff. I've been doing loads of stuff over the last few days. There's a new version of Video Pencil on QCam came out yesterday. We can do highlighting stuff. We're going to talk about image tracing. We're going to talk about NDI and Syphon, and we are going to talk about vertical video and maybe some more stuff. Hey, this is Squares TV App Lab number 69, where we talk about Video Pencil, Shoot and QCam Presenter. This is a lab on After Hours and going out live on YouTube. I'm Michael Forrest and I make apps and I also make other things. Sorry, I'm looking down. These are some other things that I make. And we are staying in Italy. This is our baby outside the airport lounge last week. So there we go. I was going to say if this picture doesn't show up, that it might be due to a thing, but actually it's fine. It did show up because I fixed it. And this is where I am now, a little view outside the balcony for us today. So yeah, I am broadcasting from the office of Peter Hübscher. So thank you, Peter. I think 5 minutes ago, someone maybe decided to download 10 gigabytes or something because the network suddenly died. But it looks like we're running okay. So I've got Shoot as my camera, I've got, I'm using it as my teleprompter, my program feed, I've got my iPad with Video Pencil, that's feeling good again, thank goodness, and everything's going out across the way it should be. Let's check that Original Sound for Musicians is on Zoom, and let's just check that this is looking okay. We've got some viewers. Oh no! Let's see if Shoot can recover from that. Oh, it did. Oh no, because what happened there? Okay, all right, let's just keep going. And thank you, John During and John Ittelson for looking after the stream last week. They did a great job. So let's start with some QCam updates. I am, as you may have noticed, the AI generation last week was acting up a little bit, but I fixed that now and upgraded it to GPT 4.0. And I hope you don't mind, guys, if I just toggle some stuff because I just like continuity camera just kicked in, and then that destroyed my Shoot connection, which destroyed my program feed. And I don't know why, because I foregrounded the wrong window, and that brought in continuity camera. But we should be okay. Paul, would you mind muting your mic because I'm hearing myself via Zoom. Yeah, if you could, yeah, because I'm just hearing a little buzz in my ear. All right, now, yeah, so we've got GPT 4.0 model in sort of behind the scenes of QCam now. So if you generate something, that's what you're getting. So you'll notice it's a lot snappier, maybe slightly better results because I was using 3.5 until now. So now you're on 4.0, so you should just get generally better results with any of the AI features. And yeah, so I wanted to talk about QCam, eCam, OBS and Mimo Live. So I've had a couple of conversations this week about the different ways Video Pencil can be used with eCam and OBS. Until now, this required NDI, either directly between streaming software and iPad. So you'd have your you'd have eCam like this, and you'd have the iCam, and there'd be a connection that way, a connection that way. That would be sort of a full fat thing. Or you could use Video Pencil camera, which would be on your Mac. This would create a sort of separate, more optimized connection between the iPad that was a bit more resilient to weird network conditions, and then just gave you a local NDI feed that you could use. And that sort of helped make things work a little bit better. But yesterday I shipped a new feature in QCam, which is that now you can use Video Pencil on a Mac with no NDI whatsoever. This is less of an issue with Ecamm where NDI is built in, but it's always been a bit of a pain with OBS because I still get this message every time I start OBS. And I know I need to sort of uninstall or install the thing, but yeah, there's quite a lot of extra steps on OBS. You've got to download this thing, and it all sort of stems from the way the licensing works with NDI. So what I've done is I've added a Syphon feed. So Syphon is an open source framework for macOS that's been around since 2010, and it allows applications to share frames of video in real time. It's supported by OBS, Ecamm Live and Mimo Live, along with, let me just check what that message was in case it was something's going wrong. Hey. Okay. Oh, my FaceTime camera without video pencil is going to YouTube. Right, that's what happened there. Okay, sorry about that, guys. That would be why. Yes, okay, I'm glad I checked that. I think I switched to the Ecamm window, accidentally clicked on the continuity camera button. That destroyed Shoot. Everything went weird. All the things that can go weird. Is you know, you try different setup, different things go weird. What did you miss? This message, the OBS message. And thank you, John, for saying that. And I had this title here, Ecamm, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I'm still getting this, but yeah, so Syphon is, so it's supported by Ecamm, OBS, Mimo Live, along with any other Mac app worth its salt, any other video app. And I also relied on Air Server's Syphon support for early versions of Shoot, and many people still use that. And it's a really solid way to use Shoot. I was amazed at how low the latency was just with native AirPlay and then using Syphon. And that's what I was doing 10 years ago. So if you want to use Video Pencil with Ecamm Live, Mimo Live or OBS, then the easiest way is now via QCam. And I'm going to show you for Ecamm and then I'll show you for OBS. We've got quite a few people in chat. So I see Jeff, I see Lorenzo, I see John being helpful, I see Tim, hello, greetings. I see Tony, hey Tony, good to see you. All right, let's continue. Right, so how to draw on Ecamm Live with Video Pencil in 2024. So you do not need NDI. So first thing you do is enable the virtual camera feature in QCam. So there's the output menu, which is not in this key. Sorry, I'll add it using the power of live titles, output. Right, so there's the output menu in Video Pencil, and then in Ecamm Live, select that virtual camera. And then open QCam's live camera and select as your main camera, select the Ecamm Live virtual cam. Okay. Next, you are going to add a layer in Ecamm with Video Pencil via QCam. So whereas before you had to select the NDI layer, now you select Video Pencil via QCam, and that is the NDI feed. And then just make sure that layer fills the canvas. And now what you can do with this is you can do what I did here was just a sort of test scene which just has the video shrunk down and some text on it. So you can sort of see that it's not coming out of QCam Presenter. And then you can see that the Video Pencil layer is there. And so, yeah, so now you've just got a layer. So the advantage of this is, you know, I give you sort of a certain set of compositions that you can use. I just sort of show you one thing at a time. I'm quite opinionated about what you can show in QCam, and I make it more about moving from one thing to the next. But if you do have a lot of different scenes, or if you do have sort of, you know, 3 cameras, or you're doing interview mode, or you're doing bits and bobs, but you still want just the video camera, the Video Pencil layer inside Ecamm, you can just do that all directly through QCam. So now you'll get the native feed between Mac and iPad via QCam, and then that will just be available in Ecamm. And so just make sure that layer fills the thing, or it's gonna, yeah, you can use the scroll wheel to just make sure that's right. And yeah, it's as simple as that. And you don't have to be paying for QCam to use that at all. So just remember that. You don't have to pay for QCam to use the Syphon feed. So next I'll show you OBS. So this is how to draw in OBS using Video Pencil in 2024. So first you start you start the virtual camera, which is started here. So you sort of set up your scene. Here's my scene in OBS. Start the virtual camera. And then in QCam, go to the live video thing and select OBS virtual camera down here. So here's what I've done there. You see I've selected OBS virtual camera is there. Shall I try zooming in? Shall we try going crazy? Shall we say, hey, look, it's this bit. OBS virtual camera, right? And then now you add a new Syphon layer called Video Pencil. So that sort of lives down here. You go Syphon client when you add the layer. So you've clicked this button down here and you've added the Syphon client. And then you're going to select as your Syphon client this layer. So Video Pencil via QCam Video Pencil layer. The reason this isn't called QCam Presenter is that I did ask, because it's for eCam Live reasons, but don't worry about it. And then you just need to sort of make sure that layer lines up perfectly at 16:9 aspect ratio, and you're good to go. Same way as eCam, just use the Syphon feed as a layer, and you can do that. So yeah, that was how to do eCam and OBS using the new Syphon feature. So as you noticed with OBS, there was quite a few fewer steps for OBS. OBS used to have to go and download the OBS the NDI plugin, set all that up. You have to sort of download 2 separate things, make sure you're getting the right one for your operating system. It's quite complicated. And obviously, like, you'll still want to do that on Windows, but on Mac, download QCam for free. It's 50 megabytes. It might be 60 because I'm about to put a machine learning model in it that gives you automatic green screen maybe, but it should be, it's not too big, and then you just sort of run that. There's a live camera that's completely free, and that just gives you that Syphon feed of Video Pencil if Video Pencil is connected, and everything else just works automatically. Right, next up, vertical video. So I feel like I'm rattling through this, but hey, that's fun. I wanted to start being able to shoot TikToks and YouTube shorts directly in QCam, and so I sort of pulled my finger out and did the basics on that. Currently how it works is we've got output dimensions, and you just select vertical in there, and that's going to give you a vertical feed. I think I want to move this up into one menu level higher. I don't like this kind of double menu navigation, but hey, that's sort of logically that's where it goes, but probably UX wise it should go up here, so we'll look at that menu. And then here's QCam in vertical mode. So notice how the text is now down at the bottom, sort of in the middle, and basically, so this is the advantage of having the text in this format on the cards. So you have the text as the tagged text. That means that you're not actually laying out specific text fields, and it means that you can then use your presentations in vertical or horizontal mode with no modifications. Here's Video Pencil. So Video Pencil's currently a little janky. Really, I should let you rotate the iPad, but at the moment it just sort of sticks the vertical video on the left there, and then you can draw on it. I would quite like to make it so you can rotate the iPad, but that's a can of worms because currently Video Pencil is only horizontal mode, and it's scary then having to deal with the iPad rotation. But we will get to it, I think, if this starts annoying me, I will probably do it. And then here's Shoot. So Shoot, actually I did do the work. This is only on test flight at the moment though, so if you don't see this, if you try it, that's because I just did it today. I got it fixed today. So now you can have your iPhone vertically. It will automatically connect to QCam, and when you're in vertical video mode, you'll get that full height of the camera that way. So there's still a lot more to do. So I still need to make sure it has a sensible layout when you're doing screen shares and video shares and a side 3D. So in vertical mode at the moment, the side 3D disappears. I sort of have to have a little bit of a think about how I want that to look, and I think I'm going to find out by making content with it. One thing I've noticed is a lot of TikTokers just have a green screen of themselves on top of web pages, which would probably work pretty well, but at the moment I'm away from my green screen, so I can't test that. So hence why I was tinkering with the sort of machine learning style green screen just on the Mac today, just to see if I could just spin that up. I spent 45 minutes on it, and then some stuff was weird. But yeah, I also think a square format would be pretty useful, and I might actually do that now. So actually, I think I was writing my script and I went, well, why don't we do that now? So I'll look for the bit where I do the thing. I'll add square. I accidentally typed squares because I always type square. So that's square 1080, we'll add in a square 1080, return a new CG size, which I think we'll have, I think we'll do it 1080, 1080, that's the normal Instagram size. And then I'm going to see what happens when I try to run that. I'm going to get some weird stuff. Everything's going to go wrong because Xcode is a nightmare. We're just going to sort of like see what happens. I'm going to see why my face follow isn't working while we're doing this. Why is face follow not working? So there we go. So now we've just got to put that in for that one error. And then, is that the end of the video? No. Keep going. And then, oh, it's not the end of the video. It's just where we stop. And then, here we go. Let's go and change it from the menu and square. And there we go. We've got a square. So there you go. It's like I did it right then. So that's how easy it was for me to add a new size. It was much harder to do the first one than the second one. So yeah, loads more fixes. If you have a look at QCam, although a couple of new bugs that I'm going to sort of ship a fix to in the next couple of hours, tomorrow I think. I noticed there was some stuff with the video scaling went weird. As you may have noticed, I'm not talking about this yet because you don't have it, but we do have these sort of, I'm sort of playing about with some title transitions. But yeah, if you just go on the Discord, you can see all of those usability, accessibility improvements. One thing was John Ittleson said about the watermark being really distracting to some people, so I've just like made it really slow instead of it sort of bounced about like a DVD screensaver before, and now it just like ever so gently moves around. But yeah, let's move on to Video Pencil. So here are some new things that so these are things I've talked about before, but now you actually have them in your hand so you can try them. So first up, Spotlight. How to highlight content with Video Pencil's Spotlight feature. So you'll need an iPad running Video Pencil, and you can download that. And the Spotlight tool now appears at the bottom of the screen, down here, and you can use that to highlight something. So grab something you want to highlight, like a web page, and then tap the Spotlight tool and draw a rectangle around the area you want to focus on. So we tap it, we draw the spotlight, and then you can just continue drawing immediately. Tap the thing, draw the spotlight there. So it's as simple as that. It's just tap on the bar, spotlight it, and it just lets you read. So whatever tool you had selected before will remain active after you've selected the area. You can just draw a diagonal. You can just draw like a diagonal line. So you can either sort of do that and draw a diagonal line, or if you want to sort of draw a box, that will work as well. So I can sort of highlight myself quite quickly and then immediately start drawing. Also, there was a bug with this with these drawings that I finally figured out this week, so that's not a problem anymore either. You can also long press for more options. So if you press and hold that button, you can darken or lighten the mask. You can change the behavior. So if you select don't clear, it adds a spotlight, leaving the current drawing intact. So it doesn't clear the existing spotlight. If you choose clear spotlight, it will just clear the current spotlight, but not the drawing. But the one that I found most intuitive was to clear the drawing and the spotlight. So whenever I tap it, it just, if there's a drawing going already, and I was doing something and I just want a spotlight, I find it useful to just tap it, spotlight, and then draw. I feel like that's quite a sort of straightforward way of using it. And then the other option you've got, you can actually just make it darken the background. So if you're not interested in drawing a spotlight, you just want a dark background to draw on, you can activate that and just sort of darken the whole background anytime. Hey Josh, how are you doing? So yeah, that's how to highlight content with Video Pencil. And for me, like, you know, it's good when these are short, isn't it? So let's talk about tracing images now. And my jump to document, I'm amazed all the other ones worked, but let's just try that again. Can we jump to the document? Okay. All right, let's jump into it. Oh no, that was how to highlight content. Let's go how to, what we're doing. What's the next one supposed to be? How to trace an image. Let me just find that for you. How to trace an image in Video Pencil. Let's go. Right, so first thing you do is add image to your media library by picking from files, photos, or using paste. And if you don't know what the media library is, let's just quickly share. Oh, no, it's not plugged in. So that's just, well, you'll see it on the next screen. So this is your media library. This is your media library. So once you have the image in your library, you can long press the image. So here's a picture. So if I long press on that image, it's going to come up with this screen. And just sort of, you can rename the file. I find it useful to rename the file to something short and sweet there. But you can now either just draw on it, or you can just trace it right now. So if you just tap trace this, it's gonna work. Or if you scroll down, there is a copy link to trace, which is down here. So if you do copy that link to trace the thing, so you see here, use this link on your Mac to open the image on your iPad. So you see it's copied that link, so that's now on your pasteboard. And if you're using, your Mac and iPad in the best way, then that will just be on your pasteboard across your devices. So you can just go into QCam. So this is how to paste automatically from a card. I don't think there was a title for that, was there? So in your document, you can just go open a URL, link, or website, and you can click the URL attachment and paste in the link here. So now you're doing open URL, you're pasting in that, you see QCam : iPad trace image mushroom.jpg. It's pretty simple. So this will, when it lands on that card, it will call that link, and once you land on the card, the tracing image will be loaded, and you see you've got an opacity control, so you can see how strong you want it to be, and then you can just, you see here, I've just like traced around it with the, I just used my finger for this, I didn't even do it with the pencil, and then your audience will see just the result. So that's a really cool way of being able to make people think you can draw better. So, the next, so that's drawing. I'm gonna answer Tim's question. Tim says, is there any chance we could do a circle or oval with the highlight? How about feathering of the edges? Tim, like, when I started this feature, I was like, oh, I need to draw a shape and it needs to do this and that and the other. And then when it came to actually using it and wanting to highlight something, I was like, this is literally all it needs to be. So what I would recommend is live with it for a bit. If you really miss feathering, circles, please come back to me. Put a feature request on Discord. But I think you're going to find it's fine. Like I have not missed. Like this. I think you'll find it's fine. And then you just think about the UX, that the user experience of how do you the UI then has to change to accommodate that, and it becomes a lot more complicated. But actually, like 99.9% of the time, I just think you're drawing a box around a thing. So let me know if you have a different experience, or if you've got a use case that really doesn't make sense for. But like, honestly, I thought this was going to be such a more complex situation. But like, it's just so useful just being able to draw a little box like that. And it just means the UI is really simple. The icon makes sense. The button makes sense. It's really obvious what to do. As soon as we start kind of like detecting shapes and I want a circle, this, that, and the other, it becomes a bit more. We could probably put circle. Maybe would go for circle, but I want you to like come to me with a use case where that would actually be useful. Because I think you'll find that the current form of it is like a 99% solution. You don't need anything else. Right. The next thing we're going to talk about is how to automatically pause a video in Video Pencil. So Video Pencil lets you play through a video clip and automatically pause. And this can be really useful if you have either like a graphic that you want to sort of comment on each part of the sequence, or if you have like a sports game where you want it to pause at after a certain thing happens so you can draw over it. So you can sort of be a bit more ready for your stuff. There's quite a few different uses for it. But again, so the first thing you're going to do is add the video to your media library, which is the same way as I just showed you before. Pick it from photos or files. And now in the media library, you're going to long press that video. So here I have a video in my media library. I'm going to long press it. If your video contains chapter markers, you can just use these toggle switches or click pause. There's a pause all or unpause all. just use those to make it pause at the chapter markers. So I did this, I tested this in Final Cut. I added markers in, I exported the video, said include markers, and it just picks them up inside Video Pencil, and then you don't have to do any more like fiddling. So or you can add the pause points manually. So you use the little video player at the top, you play through that, and then just wherever the current timeline currently is, when you press add pause, that's where it's going to go, and they will appear down here. So, I need to fix that. Yeah, so they'll appear like that. It's not the most beautiful UI, but you know, it does the job. The nice thing about the chapter markers is they can have names as well, so I gave them different names, whereas this is sort of like, it's a pause at a timestamp. But yeah, and you can add them, and then you just delete them by tapping the row. And then when you load this video, you'll see the pause points on your timeline. So they will show, there's supposed to be a picture there, but yeah, you'll see them on the timeline, and the playhead will stop when it reaches that point. So yeah, maybe I'll just load a video that has pause points. So I've got my, I've got my Beat Sheet Studio diagram has pause points in it. So this plays an animation, hits a pause point, stops. I press, I think, is next going to work? I'm a bit nervous about pressing next, actually. Yeah, no, I haven't done that yet. I haven't made that fancy yet. If you press play again, it's going to resume, play the next bit, stop. Press play again, it's going to play the next bit, stop. And then you can just like close that down. So if you want to load a video with pause points using QCam, then you can do this via Video Pencil, which has the pause point support. So you can load a video into Video Pencil via a QCam card. Yeah, so iMovie chapter markers should also work. Yeah, just chapter markers added from anything should work. So yeah, John's right about that. So you can long press, so to add so to load the video into Video Pencil via QCam, which I sometimes do if I want to do it, you can long press that video, and then there is a copy link to load button down here. I will just there's a copy link to load. Tap that, add a URL, add open URL link website in QCam, paste that in, and now when you land on that, when you present that card, it's going to load that video onto your iPad. And so there you go. Right, so we are at past. That actually, I think this has gone reasonably well, considering everything had a meltdown at like 1 minute to time to go live, even though it was running smoothly before. I think things have gone okay actually after that. So yeah, I'm happy to take some comments, questions, if anyone's got any more thoughts. John says he loves the trace function, since he, I presume, can't draw. But yeah, I am happy to answer any questions. I know, is anyone even watching in Zoom? I don't think they are, so I'm just using a lot of bandwidth for that. Paul was asking on Zoom about, what do I need? What's the thing? How many apps have you got now, Michael? I said, I've got one app, and it's called QCam Presenter, and it gives you all the other apps. It gives you Shooter, gives you Video Pencil, and it's if you bought all the other apps already, you can get them. But yeah, I've got some. Yeah, I'm in Milan for another week. Well, I think I've got some stuff. Yeah, I think I've got this written out. So let's have a look. So this is where we hang out when I'm asleep. If you need help when I'm asleep. And next week I'm traveling again on Wednesday, but I should be home in time to do the stream. If I'm delayed, I will post to Discord, but I think I should be back. And I've got some stuff brewing, some other stuff I've been working on. I've been talking to some people. I've sort of started reaching out about QCam to more and more people. It seems like more and more people are getting on board, having a look at it. So I'm hoping to be able to share some interesting news in the next few weeks. But also I've been working on a bit of a promo video for it, which is one step away from being finished. And actually, maybe I'll do this now. If you want to give me a testimonial to be in my promo video, one of 3 testimonials for QCam Presenter, if you've been using it, in the next week, send it to me. please, just like a sentence that's like, QCam has made me live for 20 more years. QCam has revolutionized everything I have ever done. Just something that's like I can stick in the hype video, just to sort of like put a bit of social proof in there for people. And if you have used it and if you have enjoyed using it, then yeah, I would love to be able to feature your voice in that video. But yeah, I'm going to play us out with the same song as last week, but this time with original sound for musicians enabled. So I did not pick a different one. This is called Magic of Our Time. It's like, I think I come from the Beck school of lyrics sometimes, where it's all a bit, there is a theme, but it changes themes every 3 lines. So if you don't know what it's about, you're supposed to sort of put your own interpretation on it. The video was actually, I sort of filmed the stop frame animation. Changed my life forever, says John Ittleson. Okay, let's do it. So I wanted to sort of show how the painter model of user interface updates works. So I sort of showed the Facebook app, and I sort of wanted to show that it like paints over each time, and then it paints the thing in, and then the thing gets transmitted, and then it paints over the image again, and then the thing gets transmitted the other way. And I sort of wanted to show how user interfaces work, but like I don't think my drawing is very good, so whether or not you get that out of it, it is very unlikely. Changed my life forever. But I'm going to play us out. It's been a good little concise stream. I hope you enjoyed that format. So this is actually something I will mention. All of that documentation is now available. Everything I've shown you today is also a document on qcampresenter.com. I have now got a workflow where I write the documentation on Coda, I synchronize it to the website as a document so you can read it, and then I download it as a QCam Presenter presentation, which I can then jump to as part of one of these streams. So it means I'm sort of writing the documents in a place that you will be able to read it, and then I'll also be able to present it. So that's why we're sort of getting the screenshots. I still need to work out, I'm putting animated GIFs up there, I just need to work out how to deal with those, because I'm sort of like fighting with coda.io a little bit sometimes to sort of get the data through in the format that I need. So yeah, but the only thing is, yeah, I need to sort of show videos, but I'm showing a lot of animated GIFs. But yeah, as I'm sort of working through my content on the website on qcampresenter.com, I'm also being able to present it to you as live content. So there we go. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. Right, here is the song. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a great time. I'm looking out into the Italian evening, thinking about dinner, thinking about aperitivo, thinking about where we're going to go this week after my calls are finished on Thursday. Going to try and not completely work all the time I'm here in Milan, because it's nice. It's really nice at the moment. But yeah, I'll see you next week when I'm back in Scotland. I'm gonna, oh, Tim's come in with a last minute question. I know it's mentioned on the Discord. Do you know how it would be to possibly draw straight lines in VP, similar to the hold and draw text in there? I've made a little bit of progress on that a couple of weeks ago. So it's bubbling. So it's going to be like rectangles, circles, ovals, lines. And I've just sort of had to figure that out. But with the help of ChatGPT, it's been a little bit easier to figure out. But yes, thank you for watching. Stay on Discord. Keep poking me. Usually if someone sends me an email about a feature or someone puts it on Discord, it sort of like makes me go, I just need to do it. So hassling does work. All right, see you next week. Have a great week. And here is Magic of Our Time from 2017, 2015, something like that. Oh no, 2015, because I was in Berlin. Right, here you go.
I would like to keep you satisfied. Celebrate the magic of our time. Why go round in circles when you could be fine? Some things happen in your signs, make you stop and think about your life. You couldn't see the